Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Thank you for joining us. And this morning we're starting with another appointment by President Muhammadu Buhari. This time around he's appointing again Daniel Amokachi as a special advisor to the president, special assistant on sports to the president. And everyone has been asking who will he report to, the president or the sports minister. But then is a special assistant on sports to the president. Yes.
All right, then. So that's another appointment for Daniel the Bull Amokachi, of course, previously appointed a football ambassador. Also on the show, big night tonight for, Inter Milan or Sevilla. These two teams will be facing off in the final of the UEFA Europa League in Germany.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in Cologne tonight. It's going to be Sevilla winning it for a sixth time, or Inter Milan, that are more like really new to this competition. Not so new, but then they're not perennial champions as you have with Sevilla. Also on the program, what the top seeds, the level of Lakers, of course, level the series with Anthony Davis right there, scoring 31 points, 11 rebounds, and Los Angeles Lakers in a 111-88 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. And on the night, the man of the moment, Damian Lillard, was held to just 18 points, although he had to sit out most of the time because of an injury to his finger.
Yes, that's more like it from the Lakers, rebounding nicely to take Game 2 of the Western Conference first-round matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers. That's where we're starting off the show from. NBA games played last night. And of course, Lakers have leveled the series against the Portland Trail Blazers. It's now 1 apiece. Last night's game was, the Lakers, a lot of fans were expecting in the first game. This time out, they absolutely thrashed the Portland Trail Blazers 111-88, and that series is now tied 1-1. We'll come back to that game now for more comprehensive analysis. Elsewhere, the Bucks as well, top-seeded Bucks in the Eastern Conference, bounced back from losing their first game against the Orlando Magic to win 111-96. Series is tied 1 apiece as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, played a very crucial role in that victory. Miami and the Pacers, it's Miami 109-100. And the Miami Heat now lead that series by 2-0.
Give it to Duncan Robinson. Tied the franchise postseason record, 7 3-pointers in just his second career playoff.
Incredible stuff.
A huge one for him. They just set the pace for Miami to take that 2-0 lead in their first round series against Indiana Pacers.
No, good result at all for Indiana. Victor Oladipo leading the Pacers with just 22 points. TJ Warren, 14 points. He's really cooled off since the NBA playoffs started. If the Pacers are going to win Game 3 or perhaps Game 4, they will need much more production from TJ Warren. Last but not the least, the OKC Thunder, they were silenced by the Houston Rockets 111-98. James Harden, of course, leading the way for Houston with 21 points and 9 assists. Of course, still no Russell Westbrook, but then the other players keep stepping up for the Houston Rockets. Let's go to our star match of the game of the night, Cecilia.
About the Lakers.
The Lakers and the Blazers. Easy win.
It is easy for them.
Thanks to Anthony Davis. AD was simply on fire in this game, unplayable. They couldn't guard him. Unlike in the first game where it started well and cooled off towards the end of the game. In this particular game, there was no letting off from AD. Ended up with 31 points at the end of the day in that route.
And it was even when Damian Lillard was trying to guard him in one at a particular time, that's when he actually dislocated that left index finger in the third quarter. But then the good thing is the scan was done, and they said there's really no problem. So it's just a sore finger, so he can really play the next game, which is a good one for them. But then after scoring that 34 points in each of the last 5 games and all that, 61 points at a time. But then this time around, it was just restricted to 18.
I mean, you're not going to play your best all the time. Especially when you have a jammed finger as well. So that's understandable. I expect Damian Lillard to bounce back very well in the third game because they'll be needing him to play a lot better than he's done yesterday night if they're going to get a chance to go 2-1 up. For the Lakers, LeBron James had a very modest game, just 10 points
10
in 27
points, 6
minutes.
rebounds,
When was the last time you saw
7
LeBron
assists.
James score just 10 points in a playoff game?
7 minutes.
That was the
Okay,
last...
but the good thing is all other players, as you know, you
Yeah.
said the other time that for Lakers to be able to get something, some of the players need to step up so that they can also get some points. And
That's just the way the game is.
J.R. Smith 11, you know, McGill also added 10. So
points,
these guys on double
right.
figures, and that really helped them to get that 111 points over the
so LeBron can afford to have an off day, and the Lakers still manage to win. That's the way team sports are generally, especially in basketball. And so the Lakers, it's 1 apiece now against the Portland Trail Blazers. Game 3 is on Saturday. We can't wait for that one. For the Portland Trail Blazers, C.J. McCollum had just 13 points. Not good enough on the night. Carmelo Anthony as well, so was very poor on the night. Finished in single digits as well. If the Portland Trail Blazers will level or go ahead in this series, they'll be needing better performance from
all the players.
Carmelo Anthony. Let's move on to other matches on the night and talk about the... Okay, let's talk
the
about
Milwaukee Bucks. Yes,
Milwaukee
exactly.
Bucks and
Yeah,
the
they needed
Magic.
also.
That was such a big upset.
Game 1.
Yeah, game 1 was such a big upset. No one saw that coming at all because they didn't have any answer for Nikola Vucevic in this game 2 as well. So they didn't have any answer for him. But they shut down everyone else.
Of the Magic, exactly. They were able to get as much as 12.
Exactly. So they shut down everyone else on the Magic lineup. And like we said, it was Giannis Antetokounmpo leading the way for the Bucks on the night. 28 points and 20 rebounds. That's major.
Massive.
The only other Bucks player that has done that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So he's in great company. The Greek freak, wherever you are, take a bow. Other players stepped up as well.
Yeah, 20 points from him. And also Eric Bledsoe had 13, so which was also good.
Yeah, Brook was very poor in the first game.
Yeah.
He had to come to the party. I mean, for your starting center to be scoring in in single digits, and it's not good enough. So it's come back really nicely. In game 2. And
Orlando Magic were so poor. I mean, shot 3 for 23 in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, so you
and
can
that's
say,
why the coach was really furious about that.
Yeah, you can say great defense coming from the Milwaukee Bucks. But then Orlando have to, do a better job of shot selection, subsequent games if they want to have a chance of winning the series. I don't think they'll win the series at all, but you never know. I just think the Bucks will go ahead and, clink the series perhaps in the next 3 games. Let's take a listen now to the coach of the Orlando Magic, Cecilia. Before that,
I mean, despite it for Houston Rockets, of course, 2-0 lead, which is a good one for them. And PJ Tucker, one of the guys who had to, play another role simply because Russell Westbrook is not, in the game yet. He's still injured. And he was talking about how he had to fit into that center role and try as much as possible to ensure the team is having a good time. But then they're not giving up yet. They're not thinking they're winning the series already. They're still going to put in more effort in game 3. The game is not over yet. They know that they still have to put on some performance to be able to get the 3rd game. And, of course, once the 4th is there, it's already over. It's a sweep.
PJ
it's
Tucker.
Looking easy.
PJ Tucker had a decent game again as well, so 14 points for Houston. Still playing without Russell Westbrook. I think this might just be one of the, sweeps of the playoffs. I think the Houston Rockets will go ahead and win game 3 and 4.
Okay, and that will be the end.
Let's go back to Orlando quickly. Let's listen to the coach of Orlando speaking after yesterday's loss against the Milwaukee Bucks. You got to play a lot better against the top-seeded Milwaukee Bucks. That series is tied 1 apiece, like we said, and game 3 is going to be tomorrow. Before we leave the playoffs, let's talk about our standout performers on the night in the NBA games that were played. Of course, Anthony Davis was one of the standout players. But let's start with Giannis Antetokounmpo, 28 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Milwaukee Bucks in their Game 2 victory. Elsewhere is Duncan Robinson.
Yes.
Cecilia mentioned him earlier, 24 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. It was a great shooting night for this guy who was just playing a second playoff game. James Harden, the beard, didn't have to do too much offensively in this game. 21.5 rebounds and 9 assists for the Rockets in the victory. Nikola Vucevic, once again, torching the Milwaukee Bucks. 32 points, 10 rebounds and 2 assists, but wasn't enough because they lost the game against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
And AD is the last guy, Anthony Davis, of course. 31 points for AD, 11 rebounds and 3 assists. Matches will continue tonight. Game 3, we're going to see the likes of the Clippers and the Mavericks in action. Cecilia, the Raptors and the Nets. This one might just go to a 3-0 lead as well because the Toronto Raptors are playing so well. The Nuggets and the Jazz, this is one of those games, one of those series that could go to a game 7, 1 apiece at the moment. Celtics and the Sixers as well. It's actually Celtics are leading that series 2-0. So Joel Embiid and his other guys will have to come to the party tonight. They want to go into a 3-0 deficit. And last but not the least is the Clippers taking on the Dallas Mavericks, tied 1 apiece as well too. Before we leave basketball, let's talk about Masai Ujiri. Yesterday, we saw the body cam footage of the altercation between him and a policeman after the Toronto Raptors won the NBA Finals in Oakland against the Golden State Warriors. And finally, he's come out to talk about how he feels, how he truly feels about this very, very sad occasions. And I'm just going to take his quote. The video sadly demonstrates how horribly I was treated by a law enforcement officer last week in the midst of my team winning its first world championship. Yet, unfortunately, I was reminded in that moment that despite all my hard work and success, there are some people, including those who are supposed to protect us, who will always see me as something unworthy of respectful engagements. And there's only one undisputable reason for that. That's because I am black. The only reason why I'm getting justice I deserve is because of my success. So many of my brothers and sisters don't have the same access, and that's why Black Lives Matter. Very, very strong words coming from the Toronto Raptors president, Masai Ujiri, this morning.
Yeah, strong words coming from him. I mean, I love the fact that it's more like what I'm picking out of it is that despite his success, what he has achieved so much, he's still not being respected simply because he's black. I mean, the deputy is thinking, so how do you have a black man, president of a particular? So he didn't really believe him. That was why they shoved him and all that. I'm happy that when you have money, sometimes you can really fight the system and get justice. But what happens when you don't have access to such, and that's what he's actually pointing out, so it's really not looking good. We need to go on a break now, we'll come back. There's still so much more to talk about in sport this morning. Yeah, welcome back. We have a special guest in the studio this morning. Okay, he will just have to reveal himself. Okay, I mean, I can't. When was the last time I saw you?
How do I review myself now?
Toyin, the media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He's right here in the studio. Good morning.
Pretty sissy.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
So good to see you guys. I'm happy to be back.
Same here.
To be amongst you guys. Well done. Keep up the good job.
Thank
you. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
We only get to see Toyin
when the Super Eagles are about to play. Of
course, and we saw him on TV most times.
When the Eagles are about to play or when they are not playing.
I will see you on TV when they're about to play.
Yeah.
It's great to have you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And Toyin, of course, COVID-19 has not been great for everyone, for all sports, football inclusive. And I mean, how's it been during this whole pandemic and the disruption, especially as relating to the Super Eagles?
Well, I mean, it's affected everybody. What you're fighting for right now is not football anymore. It's to stay alive because it was a strange virus. No one could exactly tell you how it was operating, whether it could spread from surfaces or could be transmitted by air. So nobody knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And so it was good to err on the side of caution and just keep off. And well, thank God, sports is back. At least to a great level,
gradually,
without the fans.
True.
At least some activities are going on. But for us, you know, international football, you have to be very careful. I think since the pandemic, the first set of international football games will probably be in September with the Euro, the Nations League in Europe. And then, thankfully, FIFA and CAF have come out with a program now that international football in Africa can resume in October. And then the Nations Cup qualifiers can resume in November. The 2022 World Cup qualifiers will start May, June 2021. And you have to wrap everything up in 5 months. So it's a loaded, it's a very loaded package. But we are happy that it's been kind to us, the COVID. We've had a few of our players who have tested positive, but they've all recovered. So we are happy. We've not lost anyone to it. And those who had it have recovered, are training, and are playing. So we're coping. We're coping.
Right?
No, not too bad for us.
Yeah, not too bad. But then in October, you know, when we were supposed to start, you know, international football, of course, qualifiers, the Nations Cup and all that, I'm really concerned here. Will clubs want to really release their players, you know, to start playing those qualifiers? I'm looking at October.
You don't...
at the time, more like the peak of the season is just starting for some of these clubs.
Yeah, I mean, if club football has resumed, and then we see what happens in September when football resumes, international football resumes in Europe, then you don't have a choice. It's the program of football that when the FIFA window is there, players have to be released to go to play. But then, of course, you have to put in place all the safety guidelines.
Right.
Because you have to ensure that the players are tested almost every other day, you know, because you could test a player today, even after the test result is out, anything could have happened. So regular testing, observing the protocols for international football, it's a very strict set of rules that FIFA have put in place. So to ensure that sportsmen are safe and that when you are traveling from one region to the other, you are not transporting anything or you are not going into a dangerous zone. So it's tough, but we have handled it pretty well in Nigeria. COVID, Lagos, Abuja, we've managed the numbers very well. So local travel, domestic flights have resumed. International flights are resuming later this month. So we'll see how it goes. We hope we don't have an escalation of the situation. And we'll be able to see how far we go with our football. But we are really looking forward to it. The last time the Eagles played was, I think, November last year. The Nations Cup qualifier in Lesotho. So it's getting close to 10 months without football before we play. If we play in October, that's 11 months, actually. So it's a long time.
It's a long time, and there's not a lot of time because qualifiers for the 2021 AFCON will start in November. There's also for the World Cup for Qatar 2022 as well, so that's going to follow not too far after.
A lot of games, a lot of games. The AFCON 2021 is now January 2022.
There you go.
So you are preparing for 2 big international competitions in 2022. At the same time, you're having qualifiers for the 2023 AFCON. You know, which is June 2023. So it's a very packed program. We have the window in October for 2 games. We have the window in November for 2 games. Then in March. And then between May, June, and November, you have to finish the World Cup qualifiers. The 2 rounds. That means the second round and the final round. The second round where there are 10 groups. That will produce 10 winners. And then the final round where those 10 winners will be paired home and away to pick the 5. Everything between May, June, and November.
That's a bit heavy. Can the players really cope? I mean, how are you guys going to manage this?
We are happy that we have a very
so
proactive...
many options as well.
Yeah, we're happy we have a very proactive federation.
Yeah.
If they accuse the NFF Federation under Maju Pinnick of anything, it's not about the Super Eagles.
Yes, of course.
You know, there's a lot of planning. And we are also happy we have a very proactive coach who is always thinking ahead. So immediately the programs were out, planning started. Particularly for those games, high-pressure games that will be coming up within a short period of time. So we hope that the result on the pitch will match our preparations so that Nigerians can be happy. But it's going to be a lot of work, hard work.
Definitely. A lot of games are within a short frame time. And it helps that so many players as well. There's so many good young Nigerian players out there ready for the call-up.
Yeah, we are happy. We have a lot of options. Our team is getting better and better. We have a lot of young players coming through. We have a good mix of some experienced players as well. And the last season was more of good news for us than bad news. We had a few players who struggled with their clubs, got relegated in La Liga. But we had a lot of players who came through from the lower leagues to the top flight, from West Brom, you know.
Shemi Ajayi.
Yeah, Shemi Ajayi. Right. Yeah, you had from in Spain, Huesca with
Kelechi
Nwakali, you know. And then you had good moves for Leon has gone to Rangers. Osimhen, Napoli. Akweyi is regular for his club. Uzoho has moved. Maduka has moved. So yeah, it's been a lot of positives for us. And you know, a good team is the team that has the same amount of quality on the pitch with those on the bench. So those on the bench know that they can come in and change the game. Those on the pitch know that those on the bench can come in. And then when you lose your place, you struggle to get it back. Makes it very competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes it very competitive. Yeah, so that's what we have at the moment. And it's really, you know, you can do all the planning, you still need that favor and the luck. Yeah. So we just hope that the results on the pitch will match what we have right now, and we'll be back to the very top.
Yeah, you just mentioned that some players have actually moved to other clubs and other. I mean, notable of all of them happens to be Victor Osimhen, who everyone is like, hey, I mean, is a big fish right now.
Poster boy right now, Nigerian football.
The way it is, and all. You think that guy can be able to hold down number 9 jersey for the Super Eagles?
No, there are no guarantees in football, but Victor is a very committed, very hungry young man. Fights for everything, even in training. Fights his colleagues. He wants the ball. He wants, you know, he's so committed. And, you know, he had a bad spell in Germany, moved to Belgium, then there was a turnaround. So he understands what it means to go down and to come back up. And I think that will be some fuel for him to really bring into the Serie A. You know, you never say, you never can tell what will happen, but with the hunger and the quality that he has, and the fact that he's a young lad, is growing, I think it will be a huge, it will make good impact, positive impact in Napoli. That's our prayer, because it's a big money move. It comes with the pressure and all of that. So I hope first game is able to get a goal and then take off the pressure, because Osimhen is, if you want somebody to score goals for you, to fight, that's Victor Osimhen. I'm optimistic he will make a success of this move.
Yeah, well, optimistic as well. I mean, it says a lot about his character. I started off in Europe, not too great. But he could have easily just given up or licked his wounds for too long. No, he didn't. It just went on and on and on until now it's become one of the most expensive.
And he had valuable Champions League experience last season with Lille. So it's a good move for the young lad.
Good career progression for Victor Osimhen. Let's move on with the show.
Let's move on. Yeah, talk about construction and reconstruction, remodeling of stadiums across Nigeria. This time around, we're talking about Oyo State, the Lekom Salami Stadium. That first when it was built, it was in 44 years ago, right? That was when it was built. But then the state government is trying to, you know, reconstruct, remodel,
I guess.
Again, you know, simply because of the way it is now. 8,000 capacity, and now they want to try as much as possible to make it up to 10,000, which is, you know, from FIFA, that's the maximum you can get for you to be able to host, you know, international games and all that. These are pictures, you know.
From
you
know the stadium very well.
Very, very well. Very well. It's been This has been the venue of a lot of very memorable games for the national team, for shooting stars.
League games as well.
League games. I mean, this is the pride of the Southwest. When shooting stars used to dominate the scene. And I believe they can bounce back. I've played a game here before too, a testimonial game.
Oh, really?
A testimonial game for late Taiwo Ogunjobi when we went to play a game in his honor.
Look at his pictures.
Yeah,
no,
I'm sure they pulled it up because they want to repair. I'm sure they pulled it up because they want to fix it. But you know, there's been a new attitude to sporting facilities of late. State governments are remodeling and are improving their playing venues. And I'm happy that this is happening in Ibadan. I hope that they can have very good grass pitch so that the Eagles, you know, can also get an opportunity to come to play here because they love football in Ibadan. Ibadan is a football city. Yeah. So I hope that this can come true. Yeah. And then the more the merrier for us.
Of course.
Lagos is putting together the Onikon Stadium. Teslim is there. Now Ibadan is doing the same. Rivers is doing the same. Then Benin have also put together a world-class facility. So it's good for us. And the Eagles will be able to perch on all of these pitches and spread the love across Nigeria.
Can't have too many. Can't have too many of these fantastic facilities. Let's take a listen first of all to the governor.
Seyi Makinde talking about the facelift of the stadium.
The flag of this particular facility 44 years ago. It was commissioned 32 years ago. And I came here once to watch 3SC game. And at halftime, I went to the changing room to talk to the players and also to encourage them. What I saw, I could not believe. Players were seated on the bare floor, and it was as if we were in a dungeon, like literally went into a rat hole. We must double our efforts to put the infrastructure in place that will support the growth of IGR in the state. And this is why we're here today, to flag off the remodeling of the Lekan Salami Sports Complex, Ibadan.
All right, as the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, speaking during the flagging off of the remodeling of the Lekan Salami Stadium. Let's leave sporting facilities now. Let's talk about the latest appointments for former Super Eagles forward Daniel Amokachi. Has now been appointed as a special advisor on sports to President Muhammadu Buhari. And Tony, you'd say it's a welcome development. Daniel Amokachi, it's well documented, his contributions to Nigerian sports, especially football, and getting this appointment, you'd say it's really welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy for Dan. And it's a big one because Dan knows what it means to play football from the very low level to the highest level. Where he grew up in Kaduna, playing on the dusty streets, and then he made it to the top. The first player to score in the UEFA Champions League in the current format. So he's seen it all, and it's good for him, good for our ex-internationals that you can aspire after you've played your football. It's not all about attempting to come to coach the Eagles and all of that, but you can also be useful. I mean, so I hope it gets the ears of Mr. President.
It's very important.
That's very, very important. But, you know, Amokachi is a football person. So people will ask, is football all over again? So what about athletics? Is he going to be speaking to the president about athletics or wrestling or all that? But football is the king of sports. So we can always learn a few things about the other sports to tell Mr. President. But I think this is good for us. Good for the Eagles and for sports generally. I wish him the best, and I hope he makes a positive impact.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, you just mentioned that it's football, but then we know we have Mary Yanley also attached to the sports
To the
minister,
minister, yes.
athletics.
Yeah.
So
And then the sports minister is also there.
Exactly, so come on.
It's just like trying to make everything fair.
All
But
right.
you know, we're asking some questions and all that. You have the sports minister, you have him, he's also there. It's going to listen more to him or to the sports minister. I'm trying to really understand.
It's everybody. You all have your roles.
Portfolio.
You have your roles. The sports minister, his role is big.
It's well defined.
Yeah, it's well defined. This is advisory.
Yeah.
Amokachi's role is advisory. It's not in any way going to be able to probably execute any projects or any policy change or anything. It's just advisory. Mr. President, I think we should do this. We should. Yes, the minister would also do that, but his role is a lot bigger because he's managing the sports portfolio for the entire nation.
Yep.
All right, and they have their roles. I don't see where there will be a conflict, and I hope the two of them, they've been close.
Yes.
They've been close of late, so I hope the synergy continues in the interest of our sports.
Is this a step for us actually seeing maybe a former footballer or player or an athlete or anyone becoming a sports minister? Because this is actually close, very close to the president of the country.
It's not
this
close.
is a step. Well, I mean, advisory role. I mean, it could be.
Just an appointment.
A known. I mean, I'm talking about a big shot
saying.
like Daniel Amokachi, getting a position of like a sports minister in the future. Yeah.
It's a possibility. It depends
Why
on how
not?
you develop yourself. You know, after your playing days, what have you done to improve yourself in the administration of the game?
It's not enough to just
It's
be
not just enough to be
play
an
the
ex-footballer.
game.
Education had to count.
Education counts a lot. Being able to speak and deliver quality suggestions at that level, you need a lot of education and a lot of understanding of the dynamics of sports. Yes, so yeah, we'll probably get edging close to that time, but it's a different kettle of fish altogether. We've had George Weah, a former international, become president of the country.
Yes.
But after his loss, the first election that he lost, he went back, got educated, got degrees, and came back.
Really
so
strong.
you have to develop yourself and make yourself valuable. When you know, I always say this, I think I picked it up from one of my pastors. When you are adding value, you will increase in value. So you have to get that in and be able to offer value. And I hope Amokachi opens the door for some other ex-internationals who can also offer a lot for sports in Nigeria at different levels.
All right.
I love that. Education is key. So I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's important.
It's not negotiable. Anyway, so let's I wish Daniel Amokachi all the best on his latest appointment. Let's go to Europe now and talk about the UEFA Europa League. Final is tonight, and of course, there's a Nigerian interest, so we're excited. Inter Milan will take on Sevilla. Victor Moses looking to win this competition for a second time. And so I know you're supporting Inter Milan, definitely.
Yeah, I mean there's no. I mean, it's for me, it's simple.
Simple.
Wherever there is a super ego, whether playing or retired, naturally I navigate towards that side.
Course.
But I think Inter is an amazing story.
What a story.
For Inter and the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez, Ashley Young, players who didn't enjoy.
Even Victor Moses as well, he had to go on loan.
On loan, you know,
from Chelsea.
So and of course for the coach, Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
This is a massive one. For Sevilla, they also have their own fairy tale story of Lopetegui, the way he was
sacked at Real Madrid,
the Spanish national team, and then Real Madrid, and now an opportunity to win something.
Final.
This is going to be a top game. Very, you know, you win, you go into the Champions League.
Yes.
This is going to be a very good game, very intensive game. Both teams are well coached, have experienced players, match winners on both sides. So we're going to have some great game tonight.
Okay, great game. That's what we'll be looking forward to tonight. Inter Milan and Sevilla will slug it out tonight to win the Europa League title. We need to go on the break now. We'll come back. We'll be talking about what. There's still so much more to talk about on sports this morning. Especially you guys get to also talk to us on our Twitter handle. What you think about the appointment of Daniel Amokachi and also the renovation of different stadiums across the country. So you can talk to us on Twitter what you think about the appointment of Daniel Amokachi. Remember, it's not the first time. In February, he was an ambassador to football to the country. And now, special advisor to the president on sport, which is really a remarkable one. So what do you think about his appointment? Is he going to make more changes, to the sports, and knowing that the sports minister, there's a sports policy that's currently going on that they want to implement to ensure that whoever's going to invest in sports, because he's going to get his money back, and also having these different things, coming together to ensure that Nigerian sports is better for it, and also the fact that we can also reap the benefits of sports, making it a kind of industry whereby it can also contribute to the GDP of the country instead of we're just taking away from
making
the economy.
sports a business.
So that's the key right now. And having someone like Amokachi might just be one of the way forward for this. Okay,
right,
let's quickly talk about the UEFA Champions League, right? Yeah, it's going to be on Sunday. And we
Another
have
final.
2 teams ready.
Yeah.
France or Germany. Where is it going to go to?
PSG, Bayern, Tony.
No Nigerian interest in this one.
Yeah, I
so
know.
we're neutral. Right?
I'm neutral.
We're neutral, but I'm sure you still want.
For the first time, I want, a first timer.
Let their money pay off. Like I think they've spent close to almost €1 billion, right? 900 and something.
This is the holy grail for PSG since the Qatari, owners took.
They spent a lot.
Of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Let them win it for the first time. Let's have a first timer.
Okay.
And then next season maybe Man City will win it for the first time. Let's have a first timer.
Okay,
At least so that they can rub shoulders with the big boys.
All right, so let's forget the sentimental angle to it and look at the both sides. Bayern are just on fire, scoring goals like it's going out of fashion. Lewandowski is on 15 goals already. We've seen how they destroyed Barca in the
destroying
everyone, to be fair to them. And this guy just came on, turned their fortunes around. Hansi Flick taking over from Kovac. And they've been like a juggernaut so far in this competition. But if you look at PSG as well, too, they've got quality players all over the park from front to back. In terms of playing personnel,
if there is anything in this season's championship that will beat Bayern, it's PSG.
Right.
Okay.
And if there is any team that you can put your money on to beat PSG, it's Bayern.
Staying in the middle.
Because when you look at the quality of players on both sides, and what they can bring to the table on their good day, for PSG, when you look at Neymar, you look at Mbappe, look at Angel Di Maria, and
Mario Icardi is also there.
Those guys on a good day can turn things around. And then when you look at Bayern and you look at the emerging force of Gnabry, you look at Müller, Lewandowski, the left back, Davies,
Alaba.
These are guys that
players.
can turn things around on a good day. So, I mean, I saw a joke on social media where they said they should get the referee to be on a roller.
Okay.
And the linesman, the assistant referee, to be on
so
the
they
roller.
can keep up.
Because when you are trying to track Davies and Mbappe on that side, you probably won't be able to do it by yourself. But I think we'll have, I hope those teams don't come sizing up themselves all through the game. I mean, watching like heavyweight boxers.
But that should be expected, though. It's a
watching,
final.
too tactical for me,
Okay.
Go for it. Let's enjoy the game.
Yeah, I think that's what Bayern would do. They'll go all out.
Both teams like to have
possession,
a lot of attacking football.
Yeah.
German coaches.
And then the coaches.
Yeah.
German coaches. They understand the philosophy of what the teams will want to do. So that's a dream final for me. Anyway. That's a dream final.
Okay, so he's sitting on the fence, so he doesn't have anybody supporting. Quickly, before we look at the papers, I'll just take 2 tweets before we go to the papers. Isobong Jonathan says, "Good morning, congratulations to the Bull. And I hope the president will follow his advice and not make him a ceremonial advisor, so the people will be happy. I see Sevilla beating Inter Milan because Inter Milan will get a red card in this match." Jonathan, what did you see that will not say? Yeah, that's what he said. Okay, and of course, Albert said, okay, I'm going to leave this one and the other one. Okay, I think that's just all. Okay, there's some tweets you just can read out. Okay, and Femi is just congratulating the Bull on the appointment, and then Anthony says good appointment. He's actually impressed with the president. Okay, time to take a look at the papers now.
Right,
Starts with Sporting Sun here. As Sporting Sun says, Amin Bakar, Barcelona exit talks. Messi discusses future with Koeman. Okay, another one you have, Lopetegui Kante seek glory. That's Inter Milan fans chant Victor Moses' name. APL opener, Liverpool begins defense against Leeds, and Igalo's COVID-19 scare thickens. What's the meaning of this one?
Okay,
Mikel makes Stoke debut on September 5th. What do you think make of Mikel actually joining Stoke City?
Yeah, it's good for him. It's good for him. I hope it's a very tough league. Championship is very tough, but he's been there before with Middlesbrough.
Yes.
And if Mikel is fit, he can bring a lot to the team in terms of creativity. So I'm happy for him. Let's see how he manages himself.
And he says he wants to end his career in the Premier League as well. So Stoke would have to get promoted. Wish him all the best. Now, let's go to Complete Sports is our last paper. And Moses targets Europa history. That's going to be later tonight against Sevilla. We talked about that already. Thiago Silva blow for Chelsea. Leon sets new 60 million euros prize for Ora. PNB appoints Amokachi special assistant in sports. We talked about that already. Inter Milan willing to pay 12 million euros for Moses. Victor Moses. Fantastic. It was like a resurrection under Antonio Conte. Fantastic season, very instrumental to Chelsea's winning the title. Another coach comes in, doesn't fancy him.
Doesn't look at him. Doesn't consider him.
Yeah, it's gone out on loan again now. Nick, do you think this would be a good move, a permanent signing?
If the coach wants you, that's the good thing about a move. If the coach wants you, then it's
that makes
okay.
It good.
Yeah, you'll get playing time. If it's the coach that wants you, then you can make the move. It's better for him than to go to a club where you are not sure of what you will see. Players love to play. So if the coach wants him, like Conte wants him, then he'll get playing time, and it's good for him.
Yeah, I think so too, because I mean, it was under Conte that we saw that he flourished so well.
That wing back
position,
role,
yes, that he had to create for him. And now at Inter Milan also, we've seen what he has done with the club, so it's going to be a good one.
Should be a good move indeed. Before we, lastly, Onyekuru 6 League One redemption. Henry Onyekuru, one of your young stars in the team.
Yeah,
looking to play a better season than last
year. Monaco. Yeah, definitely. He has to play better.
Yeah.
More game time for him because he's a good player.
Yes.
And if you don't get playing time, you know, your value goes down. So I hope he gets playing time and he's settled. He's done a lot of movement of late.
Yeah.
I hope he gets settled and is able to show what quality is made of.
So, Tony, before we go quickly, Onyekuru was on the show a few weeks ago. I'm not sure you caught that. He said it at the time that the coach of Monaco, I think it was the guy that came, really fancied him, believed in him, and was ready to give him coach. But before we know it, Monaco
the coach was changed
again. So I'm like, that's a very, very tough situation to be in.
That's the danger. I mean, we just spoke about Moses, flourished under a coach.
Yeah.
Another coach comes, doesn't look at you, fancies his own kind of player, a different kind of player. So when the coach loves you and wants you to play, please just seize the opportunity. And I hope that happens for him in Monaco. He's done a lot of movement, Fenerbahce, Everton, Anderlecht, you know, all around. This time around, I hope he settles down and is able to give us some good football. He's capable of playing good football. Very good player. So I hope it happens for him.
We hope so too. Tony, want to thank you so much for coming on the program. I hope we'll see you again.
Always my pleasure. This is my home.
Yes.
Please, it's my home. So I'm always happy to be here.
Just a phone call away.
Just a phone call away, yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great weekend.
I am Tahir Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.